Hey, and welcome back. It's 9 a.m. on the East Coast, and you're listening to the Austin Stone Live Variety Show, exclusively on thebluescornerradio.com. Good morning, Earth. All aliens check into the meeting room. There's a TMI report needs filled out. As far as the rest of you, it looks like traffic's good across the Earth. A little tie-up in Europe right now and on the East Coast of the United States with the weather. We'll be checking in this morning with Charls Whitefeet. We left off last week talking about some of the custom sheaths he's got going on and medicine bags. In the background you hear My Polish Hen. You can check out that instrumental. We'll be getting the vocals added to that this weekend, so you can actually catch it on Monday morning. That one goes out to my buddy Joe Cup. Thank you very much, Joe. Appreciate everything you do for me, brother. Okay, it looks like we got Chuck on the line at 9:01 a.m. Charles, how you doing this morning, buddy?
I am doing fine, sir. How are you?
Pretty good out here in the desert. 330 days a year of sunshine, beautiful weather. Can't complain.
Oh, that's good. Awesome.
How's Georgia?
It is a beautiful, beautiful, bright, sunny, clear day. A little chilly, but that's to be expected in January, so it's still gorgeous.
Good deal. Now, last week when we left off, we were talking about the medicine bags, and you told us all about those, and a lot of people went to your Facebook page able to see those pictures of different ones you have. We also left off talking about the custom sheaths, and you had told me about some stuff that you've done since then, since last Monday. Can you tell us what we got going on with the leather today?
Well, I actually have a knife that I just, it's a neck knife. It's basically a small knife for using around like a campfire. I mean, like when you're a little camp, and it's handy to wear it around your neck. And I just saw this knife, and I got a sheath design that popped out of my head, and so I'm gonna wet mold a knife sheath around it and build a knife sheath out of it. So, I mean, that's my next project once I make room on my table.
Well, now that you're going to have those available, those come in like standard sizes, like a smaller one, a larger one. Are you going to have that, or what?
Well, I have just about every knife is different. I mean, I don't have a production knife company or anybody that said, you know, I got 30 knives of the same style. Okay. And here make sheaths, but basically you can. I mean, I'd have to have the knife to mold a sheath around it. Even having the dimensions, it doesn't really help. How big you want it helps, but because I can make a big old sheath and the knife fits in it, or something nice and tight around the blade or whatever. But that's like a customer preference there. But
you have this one neck knife that you have right now that's also available. Again, all your items are individual and specialty. So, you know, when one of them's there, it's sort of like a collector's piece or an art piece. But you told me
everything is one of a kind. That I cut, 20 wallets out of, or 10 sheets out of. It's not a production line. It's a custom build, custom design. Hey, I had an idea of my own, and I built it, and I put that up.
Speaking of which, right now on the site at the2wiseguys.com, and that's the number 2, the 2wiseguys.com, and then you'll see Whitefeet leather there. You have what is a cuff that is up there right now for a special offer.
Well, it's a wrist cuff, so you wear it on your wrist, and you see people have them on. People wear it like a large watch band or something like that. And this one is designed around a piece of silver jewelry that has a wolf head on the jewelry, and I incorporated the silver into the cuff and built a design around it. But I put wolf prints, and I mean, it's just custom made around that. And it actually took hours and hours and hours and hours and hours actually to build. But it's an absolute one of a kind. The piece of jewelry is not, that's not made. It was a custom piece in the first place. So it's absolutely like a one of a kind, unique, rare. There's never going to be another one.
And it has, from what I've seen, that it has some silver in it there. What is that in there? The silver was.
Well, it's sterling silver, you know, as a native piece, native made silver.
But you told me, I think, that you kind of build it around that.
The cuff itself, the idea came from this piece of jewelry, and so I incorporated the jewelry into the cuff. It was a bracelet at one time that was poorly fitting, and so I remade it and made the cuff around the piece of jewelry and incorporated it into the wrist cuff. And it's 10 inches, a 10-inch wrist cuff. It fits my wrist, but it's for a 10-inch wrist.
Uh-huh.
So, and how you measure that is just take a piece of string and wrap it around your wrist and see how long that piece of string is.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. A lot of people probably would
add a half an inch for comfort. You know, you don't want, of course, cutting your circulation off or anything, but basically you just measure it and then add a half an inch or however loose you want, whatever piece. You know, any bracelets that I make, that's how we go to fit somebody.
So then you get the measurement, and you want to make sure you say whether it's the left wrist or the right wrist, right? Because one might be bigger than the other. Right? Okay. And
I'm sorry, I got a needle in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, okay, you have a needle in your mouth. Hold on a second. All right. I think it's important to note that all these are handmade. There's no, you don't hear any machine in the background, right? So you make all of these by hand.
Correct.
Okay, you have a needle out of your mouth now?
Yes, I do.
All right. So anyway, explain that. What is the difference? I mean, because we're not talking about sweatshop or whatever, you know, but we're talking about each individual piece will have its own character, its uniqueness, because you make individual pieces.
I don't have four patterns setting, or, you know, four cutout pattern ready to stitch together. I mean, if someone wants a wallet, I make the wallet then. I don't, you know, if you want anything I make it at the time. I cut it out by hand. Everything is by hand. So, you know, it's not perfect, and there's flaws because you're doing it by hand. It's not a machine doing it for you, or some laser cutter or sewing machine or something. So, you know, it's all just handmade, and it's a custom piece designed for somebody, or a design of my own that I thought of, that you know, it's mine, and it's one of a kind. Everything basically is really one of a kind, no matter what.
A little wasabi in there, huh? And at the same time, you know, because each individual one is more, you think of it as not an occupation or you know, a job to make money. Of course, you got to cover the bills, but you look at it as each one is a piece of art.
Well, yes, I do. I mean, because it's, you know, I feel that I'm an artist in my way, and my medium, instead of paint or clay or something, my medium is leather, and I use leather to create the art that I feel I gotta make. It's like it's passion. So,
well, and that's the way you ought to look at it, as it is art. You know, it's your own personal character in each piece. Some pieces you may even find out in the future, based on who wants them, may even influence your design, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So here's the deal. You can check these things out on the number2wiseguys.com, the 2wiseguys.com, Whitefeet leather, and hopefully keep the needle out of your finger.
Right.
So.
Which is not going to happen.
Always getting the needle in the finger, huh? Yep. Well, it's a labor of love. And we'll look forward to getting back with you on Monday morning and see how things went over the weekend. And people can check out that page, the Whitefeet Leather Designs on Facebook. Like the page, IM us, and get some special leather made for you. And nothing says love like leather. Valentine's Day is coming up, folks. You guys get your girl a leather key with her initial in a little heart. How cool would that be, huh, Charles? That would be pretty awesome. So I'll let you get back to work there, and we'll look for you 9 a.m. again on Monday morning. Have a good weekend, Charles. You've been listening to Charls Whitefeet Exclusively on the Austin Stone Live Variety Show. Exclusively on the BluesCornerRadio.com. Exclusively with this lovely instrumental in the background. Can you dig it? All right, back to the show. From Charls Whitefeet of Whitefeet Leather over in Georgia. Coming up, we got Chef Carl Sabo talking about Black Hawk Powerhouse. And of course, the voice of Black Hawk Powerhouse, Phoenix. Now back to the show. You're listening to the BluesCornerRadio.com.